The hills are calling and I must go lightweight, or trying to. So I've got a new pack on my back, the RAB MUON 50. Seems pretty good so far. Got some good and bad points, so I'll give you a look at that later. And of course, the first wild camp in the FJERN GOKOTTA 2. Gokotта means waking up in the dawn, listening to the bird song. So I don't know if there'll be much of that, but we'll give it a go. You probably recognise this place, cars down there. This is to the far eastern side of the Lake District. Actually a man-made reservoir. Nice spot because it feels quite remote to drive to. Now this is all part of my getting my kit dialed in and training for sections of the Tour de Mont Blanc I'm doing in September. So I'm not very fit at the moment. It's all about getting something in the legs. Fortunately, my son's a strength and conditioning coach, so he's going to be partly tasked with getting me fitter. But as much as I can of this has got to be the formula. But if you've got any top training tips for a big hike, stick them in the comments. Just seen a little glimpse here of the lovely sand colour of a Hilleberg. There's a strange occupant peeking out though. Naked from the waist down. Right, before I get the tent set up, which is what you've come for, I'll show you this RAB MUON backpack, some of the things I do and don't like about it so far. So I've just had a couple of day hikes with it. This is my first overnighter. There's about 9 kilos in here, and to be honest, it feels fabulous. It only comes in one size, and I thought that might feel a bit short for me, but it feels absolutely great. So what I really like about it is, firstly, this chest system, just like a lattice of strings that hook here on these little loops. So it's a bit of a fanny to get started with it, but it's not bad. And these chest pockets are a little bit bigger. I've just sold the Montane Trailblazer 44 and replaced it with this. So I've got folded up map and compass in there, and the InReach Mini connected, and some carabiners in there, a little bit of space. So the pockets here are really deep and generous, but at the same time that spaciousness is a little bit of a risk. So yesterday I had a Nalgene in there and it was just slipping out, so I've put this Hydra pack in there with a water filter on that's got a bit more grip, and there's a line you can put over the top and tighten there to hold that in place. So not bad. There's a large rear pocket that's got waterproofs and a jacket in there, and then this is large enough to hold the end of a tent. That's got a footprint in, some spare tent pegs, and my chair kit. So interesting lid system, so it's quite down the side instead of traditionally coming down here, and that's quite interesting because it means that you can just kind of like undo one side and open it up. There's a bit of retention bit at the top, a mesh inner pocket that's like a really heavy mesh, and that's cool because you can see what's in there, and then a top brain as well, and then otherwise it's just one compartment inside, so 50 litres. So far I really like it because it's a super comfy carry and seems to accommodate everything I need. Just I need to figure out something a little bit better with these side pockets for a bottle in terms of retention really. These go down quite kind of far inside, and I guess you can sort of shove stuff down that nestles in there. No hip belt pockets at all, but you know, that's a compromise. So there's an internal frame here, and a lot of this kind of like really kind of heavy mesh stuff. Yeah, cool, really nice. Right, let's get the tent out. I'm using a combination of tent pegs tonight. There are the diminutive ones that came with the Fern, a branded Fern, and these lightweight ones from Nortent. I like these, just that little bit longer but a little bit more surface area and definitely lighter. Nice. So that's it up. There's a tiny light breeze coming across here, so this end is getting a bit scooped in. That's probably doing 15 now. Yeah, definitely a 2 to 3 season feeling for it, but I'm not worried about tonight at all. In this bowl here, the wind's bound to shift around a little bit, but I think what I've seen a lot of people doing on tents of this type is put a trekking pole at this end, so I'll do that now. Right, put the trekking pole in there, and I've kind of tied it, the tapes around the tape inside, so that seems to be pretty secure. And Paul was telling me this is the Nan Beeld Pass, an ancient drover's route, and down here we're going to explore these little bivvy shelters for the shepherds.
How old are these then?
You can lie down in here, but I tell you what, your day job has got to be fairly tough if this is where you're going to sleep overnight.
Jesus.
Finally.
Can you imagine how tough people used to be? You've been there with a wool blanket.
So Andy, you were going to bring the RAB Latok bivvy tent, you were going to bring the Lanshan one, but you went for the old Acto instead.
Correct.
And
Old faithful. If in doubt, Acto out.
very good.
We're in tents on that.
Nice little setup.
Gas.
Soto. Tensa Extreme. Which is why I've got one, because I just copy everything Andy does, because he knows where his towel is. I'm not
Have you got any more tents as well?
I'm not getting one of those little tables though. Spare tent pegs. It's in slinky luxury here, and we're not going to talk about his underwear. We're going to talk about the RAB Mythic Pro Ultra, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mythic 400. What's the fill power?
900.
Wow.
Yeah.
-7 rated. Only 660 grams. Really nice.
Premium hydrophobic gift.
The good news is the Nemo Tensa Extreme fits nicely on the Thermarest Trekker chair kit. Wide. I've got plenty of space here to sit in the Fern. Now, you've noticed now I've got a trekking pole each side. There's some quite strong breezes coming through, above about 20, and these ends are just getting a little bit depressed, so I just bought one pole with me, and I've borrowed a pole off Andy, and that'll just support those ends. Cheers. Nice. So I've got this and a little bit of whiskey later for with the boys. Something a bit different tonight. I've got a tent meals meal. So obviously this is a freeze-dried meal, but this is 800 calories for only 170 grams, and this is a Thai green curry, vegetarian. It looks really good, but the difference is with these is you've got to simmer them for 10 minutes, but that will be fine. And I've got some leftover pork spicy kebabs to go in it as well. Should be fantastic. So meths tonight, not the usual thing for me, but I thought I'd give it a go. Try and get as light as possible. Getting a bit cool out here tonight now, so I've got a secret weapon. This is the Thermarest honcho poncho. So I haven't bothered bringing a down jacket with me, just this. Let's see if I can dribble Thai green curry all down the front of it. Fantastic, that. Not bad. Pretty good. Tastes like a Thai green curry. That's hitting 20 mile an hour on the Gokotta too. It's doing all right. Got it facing the wrong way really, but when I pitched, the wind was not coming from that direction. Right, now I've got it dialed in. Over the top of the Thermarest honcho poncho, I've got a RAB sill poncho, size of a pillow, folds up to. So both have got hoods. Looks a bit strange, but with a windproof outer and double poncho for hanging around at camp in the evening, that is super cozy. Massively fat. This is my Jabba the Hutt outfit. No, I'm on the Nemo pad on the Thermarest Trekker. Andy, what's that? The latest chair, isn't it?
The Moonlight Elite.
Wow, look at that bad boy. Comfy?
Very. Super light, very stable.
Paul? No, we're not interested in that. It's just got a £2 mat. So it's been a great night. Got a little bit of Isle of Jura. So yeah, things are settling down nice. We've got the Andy's favourite radio station, Scottish Country Show.
Hogmanay.
We've got to go back on that rock and get reception. So, cheers.
Morning. Pretty wet and stormy this morning. This end's a bit loose and flappy and suppressed down there. We've got a bit of a gap there though, where the ground's uneven.
The door retainers could do with being elastic. So when I was cooking in the vestibule last night, I had this door open, but with this being non-elastic, the door tended to be loose and hang down. And of course, if you've got a stove in here, that's not just irritating, it's dangerous because the door can come out and flap down into the flame. So what I elected to do was put a little bit of twist in it, and that retained it better.
I've never had a tent with so much mesh as this one, but it doesn't really feel that drafty to be honest, but it is quite warm temperatures. Good to be up in the hills. Having tried a few now, this Flex Tail Zero pillow, definitely the one to use, because this sloping profile means you can have it either way round. So if you like a little bit of a slope up, you'd have it the other way around from this, but I quite like a bit of neck extension and thickness here. I've got a damaged shoulder from a mountain biking accident. I've got a dodgy neck from work, and that just puts me in the right position. Put a 15% code off these in the description below,
So if you put in the code Fellmandave 15 on the Flextail site where the link is, you can get 15% off this and other Flextail products. I'll tell you what would have been nice last night, one of those tiny rappels when we were sat on the rock where the drone was going round. The wind had dropped and the little buggers were getting us then. Fortunately, when we were sat down later, the breeze picked back up again. This is the side that's been getting heavily depressed in the night, but could have been pitched out a lot better by me, to be honest. But I underestimated the size of the tent, and this should have pitched out here where this big rock is, so that's been pretty loose there. I had to use a bit of spectra off my compass to extend the yeah, so if that was pulled out better there, that would have been a lot better. But overall I think the pole structure is very good, but there's quite a lot of material in proportion to the pole structure, so that does leave it a little bit vulnerable to gusts. But again, as I say, that could be pitched out much better. Kind of pulled over here really. So what do I think of the FJERN GOKOTTA 2 after this night in this unexpectedly stormy weather? Well, it did its job. It kept me warm and dry. Not a drop came in, nothing blew through the end vents. It was absolutely great. And next weekend I'm on a scout camp, and it's campsite camping, and I was thinking, which of my tents should I take of all the choice that I've got? Probably a choice of 10, and you know what, it's going to be this one. It's nice and simple, it's spacious, it's airy, because it's likely to be kind of quite warm temperatures, unlike right now, and being in a pitch first hasn't worried me at all. You know, you just take the opportunities between the gusts. Now, I would definitely recommend that you use it for sheltered camping only. So exposed mountaintops, not ideal. You know, winds that hit it in the wrong direction that are strong are going to upset these door sides. But otherwise, for warm weather, valley and light conditions, 3-season camping, it's a great tent. Now I know currently it's out of stock, both at FJERN and where you can normally get it, Sports Pursuit, and at £250 or less it represents reasonable value for money because it's a good, well-built tent. When it's at its full RRP, £500, I don't think so. I think there's better alternatives for that money. But for the £250 category, if you're looking for a lightweight 1.5 kilo 2-person tent and you're going to use it in light wind conditions, then yeah, why not? There could be some improvements. So as I say, I'd like to see a pegging point on here. That would help a lot. I might get one of those put on. The zip being a double zip would really help, because at the moment it's just a single zip. Otherwise, good. So let's go and ask Paul how his exposed night in the Lanshan one was. So how was your lashed off one in the night?
Absolutely fantastic.
Right, nice and stable, not too much flapping?
No issues with it whatsoever. There was a bit of vibration every now and again. It was like a hum-a-bubba. Just
yeah,
where the wind blew on a certain. But other than that, mate, for 125 quid.
Pretty good. Have you've got the mesh in? Have you got the solid inner as well? Or
no, I just went for the mesh in, and that's got the T-zip, so in the summer everything's open back.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely amazing.
Nice.